I feel like I need an intro. If you haven't read Avatar in Real Life, then you probably won't get the point of this vlog. As you may or may not know, Avatar in Real Life was one of my first fan fictions that I posted on DeviantArt. It got really popular for a while. It really had no plot or real structure. It just went on forever about random things. I mean, there were like little pieces of semi-plot that would sometimes carry on into the next chapters. And anyways, it was over 200 chapters long. I worked on it for 2 or 3 years, and I really didn't see the story going anywhere. Sometimes I wish I hadn't ended it, but it had to end. It was never ending. There would have been no ending if I hadn't ended it the way I did. So naturally, I am planning a sequel. Avatar in Real Life followed the real-life-ish adventures of Aang and the gang, just whatever the hell I felt like putting him through in the real world. Return to Bison High kind of follows the same pattern, except this time it's following Korra. I started planning for this, right around the time I found out about Korra, or at least was happy that it was going to come out. I didn't actually start, like, really taking notes on the subject until after the San Diego Comic-Con, after we found out more about the characters, more about Korra, more about, you know, everything. And with Legend of Korra coming out soon, it also means that Return to Bison High will be coming out soon. It's not going to come out, like, right after Korra airs. Like, the first chapter won't be out the night the first episode airs. I'm going to give it a couple episodes to get to know the characters, to get to know their personalities before I actually start writing the thing. However, even though the show hasn't aired, we know very little about the characters. I have been keeping notes in a folder, the Return to Bison High folder, ever since the San Diego Comic-Con. Here it is right here. As you can see, it says, Return to Bison High. There's a picture of Mako, Korra, and Bolin, and underneath it says, these guys are screwed. Kind of has a double meaning there. Tonight, since I really can't wait for The Legend of Korra, and I really want to vlog about something Avatar tonight, and I really want to share some of this stuff with you, because I am fucking bursting here. I am going to read to you some of the stuff that's in this folder. I did this on my live New Year's Eve show, but seeing as not a lot of people showed up to that, I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. A lot of this I can't share with you, so you're getting a very minimum of what's in this thing. And keep in mind, since the show hasn't actually aired yet, a lot of the stuff is subject to change. The first page is just a brief description of what the series is going to be about thus far. I wrote that description like 6 or 7 months ago, so it's not completely up to date with the notes that are in here that's really going to happen. Okay, stuff that I can share with you guys. I don't know how much of this I can actually share with you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm looking at this note I made right here, and I should tell you guys right now that all those children that were born in Avatar in Real Life, they're going to be the older siblings of the canon kids. As you may know, Katara and Aang actually had Tenzin in Avatar in Real Life. I'm just pretending like that didn't happen. And also you may remember that Korra actually showed up in the very last chapter of Avatar in Real Life. You just pretty much disregard everything from that last chapter, because I kind of scrapped all of it. Pretend it never happened. I just love how my family feels the need to play musical instruments when I tell them that I'm vlogging. Paper's uneven. I gotta fix that. Okay, ADD moment's over. By the way, the principal from the last series, Miss Shimpleton, is still the principal of Bison High School. For some reason, I feel the need to keep her the age she was in Avatar in Real Life, so she's still like in her late 20s, just like she was in the first series. Also, even though this takes place 70 years after Avatar in Real Life, it still takes place in present day. Don't question my logic. I'm probably not spoiling anything for you guys and telling you that Korra will get pregnant some point of the story. Since I really like the idea of Makora at this point, as of right now, the father will be Mako, but that is subject to change. I'm not going to say anything else about the whole Korra getting pregnant thing, except for this time around, I am doing things that I have never done before. Or things that I have done before, but this time I'm doing them in a real extreme way. It's going to be awesome, I swear. A lot of stuff that's happening in Return to Bison High, I personally think are my best ideas yet. Korra's last name is Kimura, because I think Korra Kimura sounds pretty. And since I figured that at least Mako is probably too old to be a high school student, I decided to make him a student teacher, probably for like math or history or something like that. And I'm really hoping that Bolin is around Korra's age, because that way they can be in school together. I haven't really officially decided yet on whether or not I'm going to have Korra be a junior or a senior. The thing is, the story takes place in our world, and there's no bending in our world. I had to find a way to make the equalists fit in somehow. Originally they were going to be gangsters, but then I decided against that. So I had a hard time figuring out how exactly they were going to fit in. So I was thinking, what's something that people get so extreme about to the point where they actually attack people? And that's what hit me. Religious beliefs. So for the sake of Return to Bison High, the Equalists are members of this super religious group. It was started sometime after Aang died. It was probably peaceful once, but things got out of hand. I know this all sounds crazy, but I've actually based a lot of what Amon's doing and what the Equalists are doing in Return to Bison High off actual stories of extreme religious cults. There's a little interesting tidbit that for some reason I think is funny to say. I decided to have Korra be a rugby player from Canada. Not really sure where in Canada, and I'm not really sure how she ends up in Summer Oak, Florida either, but I got time to figure that out. A lot of this is mostly notes about Korra getting knocked up, so save that for later. Alright, seeing as that I have been filming for a half hour now, and there's really not much more I can share, I'm gonna wrap up this vlog now. Real quick note though, 2 characters that I made up myself that were featured in the original series, Avatar in Real Life, will die in Return to Bison High.